All right, so we're diving deep today into all this stuff about the Real Estate Educators Association conference. But, we're looking at it with you in mind. Like, could this be the thing for someone like you?
Yeah, it's kind of like, we're playing detective with your career, seeing if this conference fits into the challenges that, a real estate educator might be facing.
Exactly. So think about this. You're good at what you do. Real estate education, that's your thing. But maybe, you're not hitting those big goals yet, feeling a little stuck.
Yeah, like you've got the skills, but turning those into a real business, that's the tough part.
That's what we see a lot, right?
Yeah.
Folks with the knowledge, but turning that into actual clients and income.
It's that bridge, right, between knowing stuff and having a business that thrives.
And it's not just about the money either. We see in all this material that real estate educators, they want community too.
Absolutely. That feeling of, like, belonging, not being out there on your own.
And that brings us to this Real Estate Educators Association conference. Because this be it. Their game is Reinspire 2025. Innovate, instruct, inspire. Pretty ambitious, right?
This is the theme itself, right? It's like forward-looking, not just the old ways, but pushing things forward.
And get this, we're talking big names, textbook authors, the people who design those successful systems, the teaching gurus, all in one place.
That's going to be impactful, just being in the same room as these people. It's instant credibility just by being there.
Like you level up instantly in the real estate world, not just an educator anymore, part of this elite group.
Yeah. And think how that looks to potential clients. They see you've invested in yourself, you're connected to the best.
It's a sign, right? You're serious about this, not just playing around.
And the energy, too. Everyone's passionate, pushing the boundaries, new ideas flying around.
It's got to be contagious. Like you can't help but get fired up to take things further.
Oh, for sure. And speaking of taking things further, what about the tech? Imagine walking through and it's all the latest stuff. VR tours, interactive learning, all that.
Stuff maybe not even on the market yet, right? A glimpse into the future of real estate education.
Exactly. And not just seeing it, but getting to try it, understanding how it works, how you could use it.
So you're not doing the same old presentations anymore. You're bringing something new, right? You're the innovator.
That's a powerful position to be in.
Definitely. So we've got the credibility, the connections, the tech. But what about the actual stuff they teach at this conference?
Well, it doesn't seem like just lectures. It's active workshops, hands-on stuff. They want you to actually learn new skills.
Like a boot camp for real estate education, right? To level up every part of your career.
That's it. And not just theory, but practical strategies you can use right away to be better at presenting, engaging people, building your business.
So we're talking about seeing a real change in your career, not just feeling good.
Absolutely. And that brings us back to you, right? If you want to level up your career, be connected to the best, have access to all the new tools, this conference could be the answer.
It's an investment in yourself, your future, and the whole future of real estate education.
And from what we've seen so far, it seems like it could really pay off. Flipping through all this, it's really about community. Not just you at a conference, but being part of something. Like all these real estate educators all trying to be the best.
Finding your people, right? Not feeling alone anymore, or like you have to figure everything out yourself.
Exactly. And that support, it comes in different ways, right? Like bouncing ideas around, getting feedback from people who've been there, maybe even finding a mentor, someone to help you navigate it all.
Yeah, like your cheer squad, but also your advisors. People actually invested in seeing you succeed.
And don't forget, you learn from everyone there, not just the speakers. Everyone's got experiences.
It's like this huge think tank. Everyone brings something to the table.
And that mixing of ideas, that's valuable. See things differently, spark some creativity, try new stuff in your own teaching.
So it's not just the official sessions, it's those chats during breaks, lunch conversations, that kind of stuff, where the real learning happens.
Exactly. This whole learning ecosystem, Everyone gets smarter together.
Okay, but let's be real. Time is money, and going to a conference, that's an investment. How can someone make sure they're getting everything they can out of it?
Have a plan. Don't just wander around. Think, what do I want from this? Is it tech skills, networking, getting better gigs?
Yeah, figure out what you're after. Then you can target those specific workshops, speakers, all that.
They usually have a schedule or something, right?
Yeah.
Don't just show up blind. Study it, highlight the important stuff, prioritize.
Like a custom itinerary for the conference. Make sure
Yeah.
you're hitting all the high points.
And, reach out to people beforehand. LinkedIn, email, whatever. Introduce yourself, let them know you're looking forward to meeting.
Plant the seeds early, right? So
Yeah.
you're not starting from scratch at the conference.
Exactly. And once you're there, don't be shy. Talk to people, ask questions, get into those discussions. Share your own stuff too.
Everyone's there for the same reason. They're passionate about real estate education. You're already on the same page.
And don't just chase the big names. Sometimes the best connections are those other attendees, right? Facing the same problems, trying new things, they can give you a whole new perspective.
It's like you're all learning from each other, not just the experts on stage.
That's where the magic happens. Those unexpected talks, brainstorming, those moments when you get inspired. That's how careers move forward.
Love it. But conferences, they can wipe you out. How do you keep the energy up so you're not dragging by day 2?
Pace yourself. Don't try to do everything at once. Take breaks, even if it's just a walk, coffee with someone, chill in your room for a bit.
Marathon, not a sprint, right? You got to save your energy so you're on your game for every session, every conversation.
And the basics matter. Water, food, sleep. Trust me, it makes a difference in how sharp you are.
Yeah, and maybe even squeeze in a workout if you can. Clear the head, less stress, come back ready to go.
Speaking of stress, let's talk about that feeling, like you don't belong. Imposter syndrome, they call it. Thinking you're not good enough. Gonna get exposed as a fake.
Oh, we've all been there.
Yeah.
Especially when you're around people who seem to have it all figured out, confident, speaking well, all that.
But here's the thing. Everyone feels that sometimes. It doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're pushing yourself, getting out of your comfort zone. You're aiming high.
So don't let it stop you. Use it as fuel. Prove it wrong. Show up as your best self. Share what you know.
And remember, every single person at that conference, even the big names, they started somewhere. They had doubts, felt unsure, like they didn't fit in.
But they kept at it, learned, grew, and now they're successful. You can do it too.
One of the best ways to beat that imposter feeling, surround yourself with people who support you, who believe in you and want to see you reach your potential.
And this conference, this Real Estate Educators Association, that's what it's all about. People who love real estate education, helping each other grow.
So if you're nervous, having those doubts, you're not alone. Talk to people, connect with the speakers, tap into that shared knowledge.
You might be surprised how fast those doubts fade. You start feeling confident, like you belong, excited about what's possible.
And speaking of possible, let's talk about what this could do for your career. We touched on some of it, like connections, skills, new tech. But how does that actually translate into results?
Okay, so the obvious one more people know about you. You go to this conference, potential clients see you, collaborators, even employers.
Right. It's a chance to show what you know, network with the top people, build relationships that lead to opportunities.
And it's not just the people at the conference itself. Think about who they know. Those introductions, conversations that spark new ideas, maybe even speaking gigs.
It's a seed, It can grow into a whole network of opportunities.
And don't forget credibility. Being part of the Real Estate Educators Association, that makes you look good, right? It says you're serious, committed to excellence, part of that top tier.
And that opens doors. Better gigs, more clients, more respect in the industry.
Like they say, dress for the job you want, not the job you have. This is like dressing for success in the real estate world.
And speaking of success, let's talk money. Investing in yourself, learning, growing your network, that all leads to making more.
Simple math, right?
Oh.
The more valuable you are, the more you can charge.
And the more you charge, the more freedom you have.
Yeah.
To chase those passions, grow your business, live the life you want.
It's not just about making money. It's building a business that works. One that lets you live a good life on your terms.
And don't forget the stuff you can't measure, that inspiration, the motivation, remembering why you love what you do, being around people who feel the same way.
It's like a boost for your career, right?
Right.
Reminding you why it matters.
And that energy spreads to your work, your relationships, your life. It can change everything.
So it's not just the conference itself, it's the whole mindset shift. Investing in yourself, surrounding yourself with good people, opening up to new things.
Igniting that passion, the creativity, setting yourself up for success, and actually being happy.
Love it. But let's get back down to earth for a minute. We've talked big picture, but what are the actual skills someone could get from this conference?
Well, it looks like they cover a ton. Latest trends, different teaching methods, how to build a business that actually works.
It's like a one-stop shop for real estate education, right?
And the speakers are top-notch, people who are actually out there doing it, not just talking about it. Innovators, thought leaders, the people shaping the future.
So it's not textbook stuff. It's real-world experience from people who are making things happen.
And it's not just sitting and listening. Workshops, interactive stuff, chances to actually try what you're learning.
So you're getting your hands dirty, experimenting, getting those skills to take your teaching to the next level.
And of course, the networking, meeting potential clients, people to work with, even employers.
It's like a job fair, but better. You're not just handing out a resume. You're building connections, showing what you can do, making a real impression.
And those connections, they can turn into anything. Speaking gigs, consulting, even a new job.
So it's not just what you learn at the conference, it's who you meet and the doors that opens.
Exactly. It's building that support system, the resources, the opportunities to reach your goals.
Like the conference is the spark, and your career takes off from there.
And speaking of taking off, let's talk about personal growth. You put in the work, you learn, you're not just growing your career, you're growing as a person.
Expanding your horizons, questioning what you thought you knew, finding new ways to think and be.
And that growth affects everything, makes you more confident, effective, happier.
So it's not just your job, it's becoming the best version of you.
And that's always a good investment, no matter where you are in your career.
Absolutely. But let's not pretend it's easy. A conference like this, it takes time, money, energy.
It's not magic. You got to put in the work.
So how do you make sure it's worth it? First thing, be clear about what you want. What do you want to get out of this? What are your goals?
Once you know your why, you can plan strategically. Which workshops fit your goals? Which speakers do you need to talk to? Even have some questions ready.
It's like a treasure map for the conference, leading you to the knowledge and connections you need.
And reach out to people before the conference. LinkedIn, email, whatever. Introduce yourself. Let them know you're looking forward to meeting.
Build those bridges early so you're not starting from scratch at the conference.
And once you're there, don't be shy. Talk to people, ask questions, get into those discussions, share your own stuff too.
Everyone's there for the same reason. They're passionate about real estate education. You're already on the same page.
And don't just chase the big names. Sometimes the best connections are those other attendees, right? Facing the same problems, trying new things. They can give you a whole new perspective.
It's like you're all learning from each other, not just the experts on stage.
That's where the magic happens. Those unexpected talks, brainstorming, those moments when you get inspired. That's how careers move forward.
Love it. But conferences, they can wipe you out. How do you keep the energy up so you're not dragging by day 2?
Pace yourself. Don't try to do everything at once. Take breaks, even if it's just a walk, coffee with someone, chill in your room for a bit.
Marathon, not a sprint, right? You got to save your energy so you're on your game for every session, every conversation.
And the basics matter. Water, food, sleep. Trust me, it makes a difference in how sharp you are.
Yeah, and maybe even squeeze in a workout if you can. Clear the head, less stress, come back ready to go.
Speaking of stress, let's talk about that feeling, like you don't belong. Imposter syndrome, they call it. Thinking you're not good enough, gonna get exposed as a fake.
Oh, we've all been there.
Yeah.
Especially when you're around people who seem to have it all figured out, confident, speaking well, all that.
But here's the thing. Everyone feels that sometimes. It doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're pushing yourself, getting out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
You're aiming high.
So don't let it stop you. Use it as fuel. Prove it wrong. Show up as your best self. Share what you know.
And remember, every single person at that conference, even the big names, they started somewhere. They had doubts, felt unsure, like they didn't fit in.
But they kept at it, learned, grew, and now they're successful. You can do it too.
One of the best ways to beat that imposter feeling is to surround yourself with people who support you, who believe in you and want to see you reach your potential.
And this conference, this Real Estate Educators Association, that's what it's all about. People who love real estate education, helping each other grow.
So if you're nervous, having those doubts, you're not alone. Talk to people, connect with the speakers, tap into that shared knowledge.
You might be surprised how fast those doubts fade. You start feeling confident, like you belong, excited about what's possible.
And speaking of what's possible, we've talked about what's in it for you, but what about your whole organization? Could this conference help everyone?
Yeah, it's a good point. Like, you come back with all these new ideas, new ways to teach, a fresh perspective.
Right. It's not just why you getting better, it's the whole organization.
You're sharing those new techniques, brainstorming, coming up with innovative stuff that makes your organization stand out.
Exactly. A rising tide lifts all boats. You're all improving, creating a culture of excellence.
And that's got to be good for business, right? When everyone's energized, motivated, knows the latest stuff.
For sure. Happier clients, people sticking around longer, and yeah, more money coming in.
So going to this conference, it's not just an investment in your career, it's an investment in the whole organization.
It's creating positive change that affects everyone. That's a powerful thing.
Powerful is right.
Very
But
much.
let's be real. Conferences take time, money, effort. You got to make sure it's worth it.
It's an opportunity, not a guarantee. You got to make it count.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you make sure you get the most out of it?
First thing, know what you want. What are you trying to achieve? What are your goals for the conference?
Figure out your why, then you can plan around that.
Exactly. Which workshops will help you? Which speakers do you want to talk to? Maybe even jot down some questions beforehand.
Like a roadmap for the conference, taking you right to the good stuff.
And don't forget, connect with people before you even get there. LinkedIn, email, whatever. And introduce yourself. Say you're looking forward to meeting them.
Yeah, build those connections early so you're not starting from zero when you walk in.
And once you are there, don't be shy. Talk to people. Ask those questions. Get involved in the discussion.
Right, share your own ideas too. Everyone there is passionate about real estate education. You're already on the same wavelength.
And don't just chase the big names. Some of the best conversations come from those random connections, People who get what you're going through, trying new things.
Those can spark new ideas, give you a whole new perspective.
Exactly. Everyone's learning from each other, not just the people on stage. It's like this big exchange of knowledge.
Love that. But we got to be real. Conferences can be exhausting. How do you keep up the energy so you're not burnt out by day 2?
Honestly, pace yourself. Don't try to do everything. Take breaks, a walk, grab a coffee with someone. Just chill in your room for a bit.
Marathon, not a sprint. Right. Got to conserve that energy.
And basic stuff matters. Drink water, eat something decent, get enough sleep. It makes a huge difference in how you feel.
For sure. And hey, if you can, maybe squeeze in a quick workout. Clears your head, less stress. You'll come back feeling good.
Okay, let's wrap this up. We've gone through a lot about this Real Estate Educators Association conference. And honestly, it sounds pretty amazing.
Yeah, like a shortcut to taking your career to the next level, connecting with the best people, learning the latest stuff.
The real question is, are you ready to take that leap, invest in yourself, unlock that potential?
We've given you the info, the strategies, hopefully some inspiration. Now it's up to you.
So what are you waiting for? Go check out the Real Estate Educators Association website, see what this conference is all about. You might just find what you've been looking for.
And hey, maybe we'll see you there. That's it for this deep dive. We hope you enjoyed it and that you feel ready to take your real estate education career to the next level.
Until next time, keep diving deep.